Hi, it's me, Patagonia, a real-life homosexual. And today I'm here with the North Face. We are here to invite you to come out in nature with us. Wow, this is nice. We like to call this little tour the Summer of Pride. This tour has everything. Hiking, community, art, lesbians making art. Last year, we gay saw shade across the nation and celebrated Pride across the nation with hundreds of you across the nation. This year, we're back again with 2 new stops at Why? Because you're there. In Salt Lake City, we're coming for you.
Yeah, looks like it's almost that time of year again, where a lot of companies are going full LGBTQ. Look, what you just saw there was the outdoors clothing line, North Face, using activist Patagonia, an environmentalist drag queen. Yes, a drag queen who advocates on behalf of the environment. Yo, stop. So this guy is the face of North Face. These advertisements are to appease the LGBTQ community and their activists. And they're doing it at expense of offending well over 50% of their consumer base. I mean, of course, probably only about 10% are willing to publicly voice their opinion against these advertisements. But, at this time of year, especially what has or is happening with Bud Light currently, is that hopefully there's enough pushback in the form of boycotting companies that do this, to send a message of disgust that will hopefully curb the advertising behaviors of these companies. As of right now, the main company on deck as of right now is Target, and no pun intended, but they are a big target for boycotting, as most people, and it scares me that not all people don't want this LGBTQ lifestyle to be advertised to our children. I mean, once again, I have no problem as an adult to be gay, to be transgender, lesbian, queer, or whatever. That's your choice when you're grown. But children? Nah, you can't cross that line without pushback.
Memorial Day weekend. Where is the display supporting and showing homage to our men and women, the military? There's nothing. There's a couple of little made in China patriotic pieces of shit here. Where's that? Last week was Cop Week. Did we put a display up supporting our police? No, we didn't. Target. What about November? In November, do we get a veterans display that says proud to be a veteran? No, we do not.
Is there anything I can help you with?
Yeah,
I don't need to scream. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. I just talk loud.
Yeah.
I hope that corporate is watching this.
I just need you to lower your
because
voice.
this is bullshit. No problem with the pride section. Take the kids out of it. That's what you have to do. Get rid of the kid shit that doesn't belong in here. You cater to 0.1%, and 99% of us buy this shit in this store, but that's coming to an end. Corporate better change their ways. You're gonna go down like Budweiser.
Please, sir. You have to exit the store. You're trespassing.
That's all right. You want to call the cops? I'm fine. I'll be doing whatever the fuck I want. Fucking bullshit. Shame on you people going in here.
Can't be mad at him, So Target, as you can see, you're one of the few companies that has gone what I will call, to the woke dark side, because they are targeting children. It's one thing with, like I said, Bud Light, Adidas, Ford, etc., advocating, and marketing to LGBTQ community, because I honestly don't care too much about that. It just tells me that basically you're not marketing to me. But it's another thing to market a lifestyle based upon a person's sexual identity to children. Nothing sexual should be marketed, advocated, placed in front of, preached to, or any form of promotion or encouragement should be done towards children when it comes to sex. Nothing. Now, of course, naysayers will say something like, "Oh, Lloyd, what about when 2 people kiss in cartoons or a kids' TV show?" And I'll say to most of those times, those kisses in those cartoons are depicted and portray some form of mockery, that is funny, where the other characters like disgusted, kind of like when Bugs Bunny, would kiss Elmer Fudd.
Say, you wouldn't be that screwy wabbit, would you? Could be.
Or at times, if there was a kiss, it'll be a simple, peck on the lips. But the main thing was that the characters back then, when I was a child, they didn't explain their love in any type of sexual way or talk about their lifestyle, as it was safe to assume that a man loved a woman and a woman loved a man. And that was okay because most families, back then had a mom and dad. And the families that didn't have a mom and dad, or at least one of or both, well, they at least understood that this is how the structure works in this society. But of course, nowadays, the family structure is so upside down to where a word that I hear being used a lot, heteronormative, is so common. So in today's world, it's socially acceptable and even at times promoted to not have a man in the home. And if there is a man in the home, he's married to another man. Oh boy. But that's the second step in society's destruction. The first step is the removal of God. And this is very apparent here in this situation with Target, as Target has taken things to another level, and the people are speaking. They're speaking out against this, and they're possibly being heard. As per the S&P 500, Target stock is now down 11% in the past 5 days. And that's drastic considering that the overall market has only dipped 1% in the past 5 days. So like they say in this secular society, money talks, so we know what walks.
Wow, you guys, we're all doing it. I mean, this is how we make our voices heard. Target holds emergency meeting over merchandise in some stores to avoid Bud Light situation. My problem is not the letters and all the like the rainbows and stuff. It's the Satanism I have a problem with that. We don't want these shirts. We do not want these Satanist designers. We do not want it, and we will not pay for it. Listen up. I don't want that guy, AB, whatever his freaking name is. I do not want him to design any shirts for Target or Kohl's or anywhere else. Kohl's, you're on notice. You're on notice.
Yeah, you heard it right. Satanism. So that's going way beyond LGBTQ and their advocacy groups. Or is it not? Is it not that too far-fetched? Now, I'm in no means conflating LGBTQ with Satanism. What I am saying is that it's getting pretty apparent that the further down the letters in the acronym LGBTQ that one goes, it tends to lead to marketing to children. And then after that stop on the bus route is passed, something more sinister seems to be laying wait, down the road. And if these advocacy groups like GLAAD or the Trevor Project and so on, if they don't say anything about this, then we just basically got to call a spade, because what was hidden in the past is gradually being, on surface currently. And our society obviously is being conditioned to be more, acceptable, more loving, more inclusive. But then you have to ask yourself, inclusive of what? Let's see. So it's brought to everyone's attention that the designer of the clothes in Target is a gentleman by the name of Eric Carnell. It states he's a gay transgender man. So basically, I think that means it's a woman who likes men. I don't know anymore. And his company's called Abprallen, if I'm not pronouncing it correctly. But as you can see from the merchandise being advertised on Instagram, this guy is not hiding it. I mean, this who's designing the clothes that's being sold to our kids at Target. Now, regardless of if a person's Christian, reads the Bible or not, is a Muslim, or is even a non-believer, or hell, an atheist, most people, if not all, associate Satanism with evil. And the few that don't, they tend to be Satanists. So they're obviously biased. But then the main question on most people's minds, at least in my mind, will be, why has Target partnered with a known Satanist? I mean, I know why they're promoting LGBTQ. It's because they want, a good rating on the corporate equality index that was set up by the Human Rights Campaign under the umbrella of equality and equity. And they're marketing to children because apparently we have an epidemic of trans kids that not only need gender affirming care, but also need a way to express themselves with that fashion as Pride Month, approaches right around the corner. So those two things, unfortunately aren't new in this society. But by allowing them, especially the latter, which is marketing to children, by allowing that, we've let the door open to something more sinister, and my guess is that Target has partnered with a known Satanist because they don't see it as evil. They see it as something different, diverse, something that needs to be capitalized, equitable, and something we should all give a chance to embrace, inclusive. So this boycott has to happen as the next step. I'm sure most of you would agree, starts with a P and ends with an A, and is the reason why they want your kids gay. That's, in my opinion, is the next step. I mean, it's so messed up what's happening to our children nowadays, where a lot of people are okay with killing the baby in the womb with abortion, and if the baby is born, they're okay with confusing the child before they reach adulthood. I mean, it's sickening. It really is. And I'll just have to end this video. So I had no choice but to boycott Target. Otherwise I'll be a hypocrite. So I'm just gonna pray, boycott, and advocate as much as I can. That's all I'm gonna do in this situation, because this is, like I said, it's sickening. That's the only thing I can say. So what do you think? Hell, forget about what you think. The question is here with Target, what are you gonna do?